It's YouTube babies. So we were actually talking about Jake's love for Martian Manhunter basically before we got on here, and I was like, "Oh, we should start YouTubing it." And Jake was like, "Yeah, we should." So I'm like, "Okay." So now we're gonna get back into it. Do you prefer? Because to me, and this is mostly from animated stuff and the New Frontier, Martian Manhunter chose when he came to Earth, he was fucking scary and he gave that dude a heart attack. And so then he's like, I don't want to do that again. So then he kind of chose basically green Superman with no hair.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like to be, and then the CW one, and then that one, the George Miller one that I was got us on this, topic. Neither, both of them would give heart attacks still. Like, do you prefer like the cuddly, or do you think no, no, it looks cooler?
Well, I don't know that I want the degree of that first cuddly one. So I feel like that was
Hmm.
maybe too far that direction. But I think the CW one, like we were just talking about, looks really cool. It is still
Hmm.
pretty scary. So I think a good middle ground
Yeah.
is the Justice League International version because he was still like he's formidable when he was making a formidable face, but most
Yeah.
of the time he was kind of just, you know,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
cuddly green alien guy.
Yeah. I think they really need to, like, with live action versions, they need to mirror him after Superman or whatever. If they're like, oh, we're not doing Superman, 5 years from now when they're rebooting stuff again, they're like, oh, we won't do Superman first this time. Mirror him after whatever the big superhero is and make him like similar to that. You know what I'm saying? Like he still needs to be bald, but
Hmm.
do something like that. I think that would just work a little bit better to me.
Yeah. And like his early stuff when he went by human John Jones, I think he was a detective.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there's enough there for them to work with if they wanted to
Yeah.
bring him into prominence. And I wish they would, because I sure do love him. And again, the Supergirl show showed that he can work, because that show was pretty good, all things considered.
I'll say this, another really good one is The New Frontier for those that are listening and then like I wanna and like honestly, the comic is like perfect, but they actually had Darwin help make the the movie. So it's like, oh yeah, if you like the movie, you're gonna love the comic because it's just, the movie with more shit. And like the movie you should watch is heavy with the old Martian Manhunter if you like him.
Yep. Both are very good. Can't go wrong with either.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Darwin.
Can't go wrong with Darwin. I got
Um,
his one of my helpers at the shop convinced me to get his collection of I'm blanking on the name. It's like a name is the series.
oh yeah, it's like the detective series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. What is the name of it?
I used to know that because it was one of those ones that was in my Amazon cart forever.
Mm, man, this is just riveting
I
stuff.
know. Have you got to read it yet at all? Or no?
Uh, Parker.
Parker, yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't. But it's in a really nice complete edition. It's a thick
Nice.
boy.
Yeah.
And I flipped through it and it's like, man, this looks great.
Yeah.
So I need to read it sooner than later.
I wish he had done more Marvel stuff, really, because it's like
Hmm.
there's just not a lot out there that he did, but it would have been awesome.
Who would you have wanted him to draw at Marvel?
I mean, like it's hard because it's like there's a lot of Marvel characters I'm like whatever, especially like the ones that like the X-Men would have been awesome seeing him draw like just a cover of the X-Men, because it's like Spider-Man's kind of like Spider-Man always looks cool, but at the same time it's like George Perez was actually told me this one year at C2E2. He was like, "Oh, I don't really like drawing Spider-Man because you kind of just have to do something else with them because it's just like flat face and then you do the it's like everyone's Spider-Man kind of looks the same, like unless you have
Yeah.
something else going on, like he's doing something action. So it's like I think Darwin would be wasted on Spider-Man, but I would actually like that.
Yeah, it would look good. I think I'm torn between two. I think he'd do a pretty killer Daredevil,
Oh yeah.
and then like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think would be a good one too.
Yeah. And let's just be honest, his if he did
Mhm.
Thor or
Yeah.
Better Ray Bill, be great.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
Oh.
it's two things. I
Mhm.
have a jokey thing and a serious thing. Did you see the picture for that movie that um Andrew Garfield and what's her name? The girl.
Somebody else has told me to look at this, and I
Okay.
haven't.
Because Better Ray Bill is in it. They've casted Better Ray Bill. He's gonna be in this movie too. It's gonna be really funny when you see the poster. Um, because it's Andrew Garfield and the girl that was in Black Widow.
Oh,
I'm
Florence
like,
Pugh.
yeah, Florence. Pew
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Pretty rough.
pew. Yeah.
He's making that.
Yeah. It just made me laugh so much. Like I've seen so
Yeah.
many memes with that horse now, and it tickles me. But the other thing, I finally watched Godzilla minus one minus color over the
Mhm.
weekend. And have you seen it yet? Have you watched it without,
Not that
Okay.
version.
So it's it's kind of weird because I expected the special effects to look even better, black and white, But no, the color added a lot. Like there's parts where I'm like, this does not look as good in black
Hmm.
and white.
What's an example?
The part when Godzilla is like breaking up at the end, like after he comes, like that then like a lot of just the Godzilla scenes in general, except for like the water scene where he's like the little cat chasing after him. But like a lot of the scenes where he's like out in the sunlight, that type of stuff, it's like, yeah, it's full. It just, I think the color helped a lot.
Fair enough. It was one of those where it's like, yeah, if I watch it again, I'll watch it in the black and white version. But I didn't really think like if it was really good in black and white, I wouldn't have been surprised. But also, I'm not too surprised that it isn't, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I'd really like because it's the same movie. I watched it dubbed, which the dub is solid for the most part, but there's some scenes when like the dude in the sub or like in the original version is like fucking like that part when he thinks the girl's dead, and he's
Hmm.
like screaming and you're like, holy fuck, he is going through it. It's like and then like the dub, it's not it's like the original guy, he's at like in a 12 and then the dude in the dub's at like a 9, so it's like yeah, he's still doing good, but it's like the other dude is I feel bad for him after that.
Yeah. That original actor gave a fucking awesome
Yeah.
performance. Um, okay, so I have a story from the shop this week. A guy came in and this always gets me. Like, I'm gonna sound like I'm complaining. Know that that's not really the case, but most people that come in, you can tell maybe don't have a nerdy friend to talk about stuff with.
Hmm.
So everybody talks to me like it's the first time I've ever heard about whatever they're talking about. So this guy came in and I guess went to his first convention and he started complaining because he had to wait in a long line to meet a voice actor that he really wanted to meet. And he was mad because the voice actor was taking the time to talk to the people that were there to see him.
Yeah.
And he said it took him 5 hours to get up there. And that is a long time. Um, the next sentence, he was like, "Yeah, and I was mad because I did the photo op for Mark Hamill and I couldn't stop and talk to him." Just like, man, what do you want?
Yeah, that's
And
really funny
also,
though.
I mean, it's like, buddy, if you waited 5 hours for a voice actor, how long you think you would have waited for Mark Hamill if you were talking to people?
Right. I mean, that's what you had to like. That's what you have to kind of tell him. It's like, dude, I met Stan Lee, and he told me he made Iron Fist, and then shooed me away. It's like the bigger names, you're not gonna talk to them.
And dude, like I waited in line for Stan, and then I waited not as long as you, but almost as long as you for, you know, Wolfman and Perez. So it's like that's just part of it. Now again,
Yeah,
I think it was his first one. He didn't really
yeah.
say one way or the other, but I don't know. It's like he was telling me about the con, and it's every con. It's like, dude,
Hmm.
everything you're saying, I've done it 1,000 times. I've heard about it 1,000 times. And then, just complaining about he was just very contradictory of himself.
I gotcha. Now, really quick, I got a question for you because you've gotten more autographs and met more of the celebs than I have. Is there one that you're like, no regrets? I'm so happy that I met them. And then is there one that you're like, could have done without it? They're kind of a letdown.
None of them have been a letdown, but
Yeah.
as you know, I only do it if it's somebody I really adore.
Hmm.
Stan was probably on the bottom end of it because I knew I wasn't going to get to talk to him, right? But it
Yeah.
was super quick.
Yeah. I mean,
Whatever. I'm
he's a
still
hundred. You weren't gonna get the chance again.
exactly. That's the thing. No matter how I feel about his business practice, I'm still glad that I got to meet the guy, right?
Yeah.
And get a signature. The other the other ones that I can think of, there was Zachary Levi, who is one of the nicest people I've ever met, and then Laura Bailey, who's a voice actress and she's on Critical Role. She was also amazing. I told her my favorite character of hers, and she did a voice in that character. So that was amazing. Uh, the one that I'm really, really glad that I got was actually Sean Bean because he
Oh
hasn't he
yeah.
hasn't done a con since. It's the
Yeah.
only one he's ever done.
That's wild, man.
And because of the person that I was going to the con with, I was nearly late, or I was late to his line. He was walking away as I was running up to the line, and like a psychopath, I was like, "Please, please, just one more picture, please. I only came here for you," which was true. I only went to
Yeah.
the because Wizard World was garbage.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." He walked back up. We did the picture. It's not a very good picture, unfortunately, because I was rushed and I look like I am out of breath, and I was. But I'm still glad that I got it because I love Sean Bean, and like I said, he hasn't done any others. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he just hated the experience or maybe he's just been too busy since then with projects. But uh,
And well, isn't like since Wizard World's kind of dead, it might not have as much of an end for these other ones too.
that could be. I mean, you would think that something like New York or San Diego would
Hmm.
be able to, pay him
Yeah.
whatever he wanted, but still, it was a cool experience. And honestly, there's been several that I regret. Like, I feel like the first 5 years that we did C2E2 could have met Sean Astin.
Hmm.
Now that I am like, okay, I should probably do the Lord of the Rings cast when I see them, he hasn't been back.
Yeah, like don't the Hobbitses, don't they like do an actual like photo op together? Like how far away would they have to be before you go, I'm not making that drive? Like, because I mean Kansas City you'd probably do.
Yeah.
Chicago, yeah. Indianapolis, because you got that one works, but or you're like not San Diego.
Not San Diego. I'd even go down to like
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
But that honestly, I mean, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Um, it would be great because like Elijah's done it more in the last 2 years because I follow both Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd on Instagram. I like those guys a lot as people.
Couple of
Um,
goofballs.
they are, but man, they look like they always have a great time.
Yeah.
And I like that they do creative projects together, but it's like I would love to do those two, but um I feel like maybe 2 to 4 times a year the last 2 years, all four of them have gotten together at various shows. And for a while there, I feel like Elijah, there was just like no way you were going to get him at a con.
Hmm.
Not that he thinks he's too good for it or whatever. He just wasn't really doing anything. He didn't have to. He was
Yeah.
doing his DJing, which he is passionate about. So I'm still holding out hope that maybe one day I'll be able to get to the Four Hobbits. And
Yeah.
like Vigo would be an instant yes, you know.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, but there's just no way that's ever gonna happen.
Like him, I could see C2E2 getting. Like I could see that just randomly one day we open up the emails and then you're just like, well, I'm going to C2E2.
I know.
I
I
gotta get
know.
another picture with another one of my pop culture grandpas.
Right? Yeah, that would be so crazy. I say there's no way, but then I mean you always see photos or articles of him just at a place you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So who
Oh,
knows?
you had to have seen it. But that social media post by like one of Tolkien's, I think grandkids maybe. He's like, this, I found this ruffian in my backyard with with four little guys, and it's seeing McKellen and I'm like, that's hilarious.
I know. Imagine being able to just do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, who's one person that you haven't met that would be like an instant, I'm gonna do this?
Well,
Because you're not big on that stuff at all, but I want to
yeah.
know one that would get you to be.
Well, like really any suit actor. Like after, because it like in my heart, I'm a little salty about it. So, like this was like early on in me and Bree's dating. Yamaguchi, who was the original Godzilla suit actor, was going to be in Indianapolis, and like the week, I think it was going to be the week before, the week after, was celebrating Bree's birthday. So I was like, like we're going to be going out of town for that. I'm not going to be driving for a day just to get my picture with the suit actor. I'll do it now. I'll do it at G Fest or whatever. And he died that year. So now, like, anytime I get the chance and I'm able to, I'm like, yep, gonna fucking meet this suit actor because and then like the one other one that I'm like, I really regret not meeting was so I don't know, have you seen any of the Heisei Godzilla movies? So that would have been like Biollante, King Ghidorah, versus King Ghidorah, where it turns into Mecha King Ghidorah or Space
I've seen
Godzilla.
that one.
Okay.
And
So there
I've seen most of Space Godzilla.
Okay, so there's a girl in those movies. She's a sidekick that's like, she's in every single one of the Heisei movies, and she's got big ears. Like, uh, she was at G Fest my first year going to G Fest, but I was like, I need to get the suit actors, and so I just won't worry about her because she'll be back. Never been back, hasn't been at a con that I know of since.
She Sean Bean you.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
He got
damn.
beaned.
But yeah, so like if I could meet her, that'd be cool. And then yeah, I mean, just really any of the suit actors. That's always the goal. So
Right on. All right, let's do a normal episode. We could talk
yep,
about cons all
yeah.
day. Oh, by the way, real quick, last week I think it was, uh, Alex texted me and he was like, "Just so you know, I'm a for sure for C2E2 this year, so you guys have to go. I was like, okay, last year was kind of a fluke. I'll be there this time. Like, I'm so
Okay,
sorry. I hated missing it.
I'm gonna toss this out there too. If this happens, if we're all at C2 at the same time, what we need to do is a live D&D game.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm sure the other
So,
guys would
yeah,
be all
tossing
about
that
it.
out there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that last year all three of them went, but Alex was the only one that like stayed there because Preston and Christian both live in Milwaukee, which is just an hour from Chicago. So they just like
That's so
made the
fucking
drive and went
crazy to think
back.
about. Like, I know my geography game is so weak, but I'm like, no, Milwaukee's got to be way further than that, you know?
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, the point is like even if they don't stay, since they just have an hour drive, I bet they would stay and play.
Yeah,
So yeah, that would be super fun. I'll bring it up to them, or they'll hear this. So
yeah. They're like, fuck, we don't watch the YouTube.
yeah, fuck the YouTube. Oh, we need an opener.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the wily kit to my wily cat. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Nothing.
So, what's a wily kit and what's a wily cat?
Oh, you know this. They're the two kids in the Thundercats.
Oh, see, I did not know that.
Well, I thought that you did.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Dude, so I know you're not as much of a toy guy as I am, as I say with my Godzillas behind me. But Mondo have you seen them? Like, I mean, you won't buy them because it's like you haven't won the lottery, but because they're like $300. Like Mondo has like, the Thundercats people and stuff, and like they look so cool. But
They do
holy
look
shit.
cool. So I've bought a couple of the Castlevania vinyls off of
hmm
Mondo. And so now I get their emails and they sent out one that was just like Thundercats Ho was the title. So I clicked and looked at the toys and it's like, man, those look amazing, but I'm not buying
Yeah,
them.
you're gonna buy the Thundercat vinyl that it's just the theme song going thunder, 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 Thundercats.
I think you know I'm crazy enough that I would buy that, yeah. But all right. YouTube comment time. We've got one from Nick. He says that my Fantastic Four would be uh what were we doing here? I think we were doing team ups maybe. Uh
Yeah.
the Ninja Turtles and Daredevil, just because everyone wants it.
hmm
I don't disagree with that.
Kevin Eastman wants it probably the most more than anybody.
Yeah, for real. Hellboy and the IDW Ghostbusters. That'd be pretty fun.
hmm
A three-way team up between any amalgam characters with the two that they combined to make them, like Superman and Captain America and Super Soldier, or Batman, Wolverine, and Darkclaw.
That'd be
That's
cool.
that's a pretty neat idea. I like that.
Yeah.
And then he says, then for me, and probably just me, Judge Dredd and the Creature Commandos.
Yeah,
Honorable mention.
that is a very Nick answer with the last one.
That's okay. I love answers that are specific to
Yeah.
people. That's great. And then he said honorable mention to Deadpool and Savage Dragon for the jokes. I'm not gonna lie. I think that sounds fucking terrible, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you love Savage Dragon, but God, it would just be like a 15-year-old boy went crazy in his writing journal, you know? Like, ugh. But all right, that's it for the comments. We have what I would describe as a pretty abysmal news week.
I mean, it's
But
kind of a bottom of the barrel cast, if you
yeah,
ask me.
yeah. And I'm glad that you said that, Casey, because I'm going to make a note right now that that's what we're calling the
I,
episode. So take it away. You've got a
I
couple more than me.
shot my shot and it worked. Okay. So some news came out about our person, Ezra Miller. The grooming allegations have all been recanted. The parents have said, "Oh, we got the bat like some info that just apparently wasn't true, and our person was pretty unreliable." It's like, huh, maybe you shouldn't gone to the news about it if you had an unreliable source on the whole subject, guys. I mean,
That seems kind of fishy, though, because
I
he was
mean,
clearly doing some crazy shit at that time.
he like there is a big difference between being a fucking maniac that's breaking into people's houses and screaming at them and then getting drunk and fighting people and all that, and then like grooming a minor, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it's like I wouldn't be surprised if the parents were like probably some dickheads that were trying to get some money. That's kind of how it comes off to me. And then now they probably then got hit with like proof that he wasn't. And then they're like, yeah, you need to fucking recant this shit because we have this proof and he's gonna sue for libel. That's my guess. And then they're like, shit, this is blown up in our face.
yeah, yeah. Pretty just fucked all around.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanna mention that I didn't write down, but at least I don't think we talked about this last week because I think it happened this week. The Lord of the Rings movie trailer.
Oh, I saw it, but I didn't
Okay.
write it down. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't think we talked
So
about it yet.
we got the full trailer for the War of the Rohirrim. That comes out like Christmas, I think. But I'll be honest, I think it looked awesome. The
Yeah.
animation was dope.
Animation looked great. I'm not gonna pretend to be the Lord of the Rings guy of the group, but I'm like, looks pretty neat. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you know, the internet's gonna complain about everything. So
Hmm.
some of them are hating on it because there's a lady in it. But I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
mean,
man, she
everyone
looks
knew
fucking awesome.
there weren't women back then, but that's fine.
Yeah,
They just
you
didn't
know,
exist.
or black people.
Yeah,
They just weren't there.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked. We'll definitely be seeing that in theaters.
All right, so we're getting some a new Godzilla toy that I gotta talk about. It's a Transformer Godzilla combo. So like the it's it's so dumb because it's just a color like it's just the same Optimus Prime toy, but they changed the colors. Like they've done this stuff before, and I've actually gotten it for Nick because he's a big fan of Ghostbusters, and they had the Ecto one that would actually transform, and like that one looks kind of cool. But this is just like, oh yeah, here's different color Optimus Prime. Here you go. Money, please, $100. And then I think the other one's supposed to be King Kong, and it's another one of those things where I'm like, okay, like I don't know. It just there's a lot of people that are hyped about it, but like thankfully I don't collect Transformers because it's like at least I can have some money.
Right. Yeah, I did not see those, but that's one of those things where I I don't care either way.
Yeah.
There's speaking of Transformers, I'm using this as an example. This happens with lots of fandoms, but everyone here knows I don't know a fucking thing about Transformers
Hmm.
except for Optimus and Bumblebee. Um, there's this guy that comes in, and every time there's a new Transformers issue out, and he's like, before going and checking the back shelf, he's like, "Oh, do you have the Transformers number whatever variant with X character on it?" And every time I'm like, I don't know who that is. Like,
Yeah.
give me the artist name or tell me if it was the B or the C cover, and I can tell you yes. But saying if fucking Starjizz is on it, like I have no clue who Starjizz is, or if I just don't.
It's like,
So
well, Sargis looks exactly how you think he would.
so it's like, man, I just does the new Starjizz toy look the same, or is he a different color too?
So that one actually had a recall because it was very graphic.
So, okay.
If
We
there's any
did,
artists listening right now, if you want to draw Stargis and post it, Jake will post it on our Instagram. I
yeah.
will for sure post it on our X.
Well, I'll just post one of those like sensitive material things
There we
first.
go.
Um, Speaking of toys, though, did you see the new Diamond Select Kong and Godzilla toys?
I haven't.
Cool. I'm
Are
gonna show
they
you.
nice? Are they full on like toys or are they like the cool ass statues?
They're like the PVC statues, which
Nice.
I think are great because they're
No,
affordable.
I love them. Like, because I got two here. The only downside is they're fucking big. So like I have to have them on my top of my shelf, and I
Yeah.
have a lot of shit that's like that. So now I'm like, I need more top shelf space. Oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah. So there's the Kong one. And then here's the Godzilla one.
I like that a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty cool. I imagine that'll pop up on let me see. Okay, so the Godzilla one at least is 11 inches tall and it's going to be 85.
Okay.
So a little more than I was expecting. Usually their stuff is like in the $40 range, but also
Yeah.
the stuff that I have seen isn't 11 inches tall either.
Yeah.
So, um, but still, like if an 11-inch figure or statue came out through Mondo, that would be 300 easy.
At least.
So,
And then you'd have to wait like a year to get it too.
yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'll talk about this one first. James Gunn posted some chocos leading to Martian Manhunter speculation for the new Superman movie. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Martian Manhunter pops up because of the fact that Gunn clearly loves Justice League International and that era of Justice League. It'd be
Who
weird.
doesn't?
Yeah, it'd be weird since he's said that multiple times. He's like, "Oh, this is kind of the era that I'm basing a lot. Like, this is like a lot of my Justice League stuff as I'm basing off of this." It'd be weird for Martian Manhunter not to be there. But I also kind of think it'd be kind of weird if he's gonna be with that Justice League team because it sounds like that Justice League team's full of people trying to make money, and I don't think Martian Manhunter is going to be doing that. So yeah, I'll be curious how he plays it out. But the real question that I already posed to you is, do you think Oreo or like any of the cookie companies will do a special Choco release for when the movie comes out?
I think that they could. I
Yeah.
really do. Um, I don't know, like they love doing their collabs, and
Hmm.
it was someone as big as Warner Brothers. I'm just thinking of some of the like product placement that we've gotten in past movies. It's like, why not do one with Oreo?
Right. Or
And
hell, I
I would
mean,
get some for sure because I fucking love Oreos.
yeah. And if let's just say Oreo's like, "Mm, we'll pass. Fucking, I don't know. Like Aldi has the duplex or whatever. Just do that.
Fuck yeah. Catch me at Aldi buying duplexes. All right, my last bit of news. Andrei Sapkowski has confirmed that his new Witcher book is finished. I brought that up. I think it might have been just earlier this year, even. So it's crazy that he's done already.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a Geralt standalone book. I don't know if it's going to be like a prequel adventure before the events of the series or if it's something after. It doesn't matter. I'm going to
Hmm.
devour it anyway. So very excited for that.
Just read it, dude. Jeez.
And
Now,
also, hey George R. R. Martin, maybe take a lesson there.
um, so does that just mean like Yennefer and the other lady just won't be in it? Okay, because like I
Um,
didn't know that they were like that big of a character in the books. I figured it was all just mostly Geralt.
oh no. Honestly, it's mostly a series story.
Yeah,
Um, but no, Geralt and Yennefer are like series adopted parents essentially. So they're
I
all very
gotcha.
much equal parts. But I don't know because the first two books of the series are more Geralt's adventures as just a Witcher before uh all the shit with Ciri happens.
Okay.
And like Dandelion will pop up and like just here and there. He's not always in it. And like they'll just mention Yennefer in some of them, even though she's
Hmm.
not there. So, you know, she could be in it. She could not be in it.
I gotcha. Alrighty. So my last bit of news, we got some Spider-Man 4 news. That's gonna set to release in July 2026. It's in between the two Avengers movies, so it's like in between Doom War and are they calling it Secret War still, or are they doing something else? It's
I
hard to
don't
keep
know.
track.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be released between those, so everyone is saying like, yeah, it's gonna be multiverse related, which is like that's what people have been clamoring for. More of that, especially with Spider-Man. We don't want a street level story where he's, fighting Kingpin and dealing with that stuff. Nah, more multiverse. I'm being sarcastic.
Well, that last one, which was really good, made all the money. So they're like, let's keep doing that.
It's like it made money because people like seeing actors play characters that they've already played. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna make as much money this time. But then like Spider-Verse makes money, those movies make money. So it's like they're like, oh no, look, this is what's working. Like Sony, you don't know what's working when it comes to Spider-Man. You're making a Craven movie.
Yep. But Casey and I are still going to watch it because we watch Madam Web.
I mean, I stand behind Madam Web is still better than Flash.
Gosh, we should really do a poll. I'll try to remember to do that. I'll make a note right now. That way people can say one way or the other.
Man, that just fucking made you laugh so hard you froze on my end.
Now you froze. You're still frozen. You were doing this.
Oh, I was wiping sweat away because this room does not get the air conditioning that the rest of my house gets as well.
And it was fucking hot outside today.
It was. I
Did it
was.
break 100 up in your neck of the woods?
No, I mean not officially, but it was doing that, with the humidity, it feels like 106,
Right.
I think. But I think it was only up to like 93 or so.
St. Louis put out like you can sign up for like their text service whenever like they're gonna do this tornado sirens or just
Hmm.
whatever. And I have that. And they were like, yeah, heat advisory 105 until noon on Tuesday. I'm like,
Oh
holy
Lord.
shit. It's always like 5 degrees hotter down here. I get that we're more south,
Yeah.
but still, man, it's like that's too damn hot.
Yeah.
I'm
Honestly,
so
anything
ready for hoodie weather.
dude, every day is hoodie weather if you're brave enough.
And I'm not. I'm not at all.
So I take it you didn't golf today in this wonderful weather.
No. No, 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 no. I don't. I need to look ahead and see if it's going to be any better the rest of the week. Because if not, I'm skipping a week.
Yeah, I don't think it is. That's like at least here, it's just like there's one day where it's supposed to rain, but it's still like high 80s.
It'll just feel like you're walking through a lake.
It's just like it's just boiling water coming down.
Yeah. All right. That's it for the news, man. So, what'd you read this week?
So I read Green Lantern War Journal issue 12, Ghost Rider Final Vengeance issue 6, Destro issue 3, Daredevil Woman Without Fear issue 2, Superman issue 17, Crocodile Black issue 4, and Wolverine Revenge issue 1. And by the way, thank you for the Godzilla book. I haven't got to read it yet because I got my weeks mixed up and I was like started reading the Kevin Smith Batman book, and then I was like, wait a minute, this weekend isn't Labor Day weekend. So, gotta
Yeah,
put that on hold.
all good, man. I usually stuff comes out where it's like within a month or two of either Christmas or your birthday, and I'm like, that's an easy save.
Yeah,
But it's like August. I'm
yeah.
just gonna give it to him. Okay, I read Thundercats 7, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter #2, Wolverine Revenge #1, Crocodile Black #4, and Superman 17.
All right. I didn't keep track of which. I think I had a little bit more than you though.
You had a few
So,
more, yeah.
all
Do
right. So,
two of them.
all right. Green Lantern War Journal issue 12. This is by Phil Kennedy Johnson and Montos on the art. This is the end. It seems like the series is done now.
Huh.
But yeah, that's how it seems because it says at the end, John Stewart's adventure continues in the pages of Green Lantern 15, and in Green Lantern Civil Corps coming this fall. I didn't know about that one.
Me either.
Um, so yeah, they beat the bad guys and save the day, and it's good. Like it's the same. Like it's like, oh yeah, this is still good. Like if you've enjoyed the other issues, you'll enjoy this one because it's kind of the same level, like nothing about it that makes me like, my socks aren't blown off or anything, but it's enjoyable and the art's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go probably 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for the series because, you know, it's pretty neat. Do
Good.
you keep selling out of it every time? Or did it cool
No, I've
down?
got my ordering at a good point now, but
All right.
now it's to the point where it's like I'll just read the
Yeah,
complete
yeah,
edition.
it's like, oh yeah, by issue 8 of 12, you're like, oh, well now I know what I'm doing, but this doesn't work.
Yeah.
All right, Ghost Rider, Final Vengeance. This is by Benjamin Percy and Danny Kim's art. I'm not gonna lie, Danny Kim's art is pretty rough in this issue. Like, just not feeling it.
Yeah. Is that the regular artist?
I think it was for this, but I don't know. It just did not look good this time around. Like, if Danny Kim got a job with IDW to do a Godzilla book, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Pretty normal. Um, but yeah, so like they come up with this way of trying to get, Ghost Rider and Johnny back together and doesn't work. Mephisto's there, and then he's just like, hey, Hood, you want to earn your Ghost Rider stuff? Kill your family. And he's like, I can't. And so then Mephisto's like, okay, well, you're going to hell then, and I'm gonna rip your face off.
Ugh, holy shit.
And so then, yeah, he sends him to hell, and Ghost Rider makes a deal with Mephisto to get Johnny Blaze does to get his Ghost Riding stuff back, and that's how it ends. And it's not bad, but it was just kind of like it's like they're fighting a little bit, fighting over Ghost Rider, and then it's just like Mephisto shows up and he's like, "Hey, kill your family," and he's like, "I don't want to." Well, too bad. Give me that face. So yeah, it kind of wasn't the best ending. Like it was really cool, all the other issues, but this one was kind of a letdown. So I'm gonna go like a 6 and 7 out of all, for the series.
Okay. All right, so first I'm gonna do Thundercats number 7. It's by Declan Shalvey and Drew Moss. And this was mostly a Wily Kit and Wily Cat adventure,
Break
which
me up a piece of that.
yeah, okay. Well, they're kids, so that kind
Oh,
of
never
sounds
mind.
weird.
Never mind.
Um, yeah, so whenever I saw it was going to be mostly about them, at first I was kind of like, don't really want that. But I read it and it was still quite good. Um, they're just like flying their hoverboards, having a good old time, and they stumble into Mom Ra's lair. And they just, he doesn't wake up. They just kind of find him asleep in his throne or whatever, and then they have to escape. And then the other part of the issue is Panthro and Tigra deciding that they're going to make the Thundercats lair and
Oh
inside
yeah.
one of the mountains. So it's cool just to see like the Thunder Tank and the cat lair and stuff, like just them come up with the ideas and then make it. Um, I just like how they do the origin stuff in this. It's fun. So, and I'm really just liking all the character development with Lion-O and the others and seeing their relationships develop. So it's still really good. I'm loving Thundercats. I'll give this one an 8. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
I picture them like trying to, like trying not to wake up Mum Ra very much like when you're a kid and your dad's like asleep on, like asleep like in his recliner, and then you're like trying real like you're trying to get something from the room that he's in. You're like, I'm trying not to wake him up, but like, if you're me, you just knock everything over because you're just the worst.
That kind of is how it is because he's just like on his throne, just
Yeah. That's
it's like they're
hilarious.
they're trying to fish the remote out from
Yeah.
under his hand.
All right. So Destro issue 3. This is by Dan Waters and Andrea Milana on the art. And so yeah, Destro's fighting Assassin this time around, and they're, and then you also get a little bit more story on the drones that he got, and then also backstory on Destro's weird old mask and stuff. And yeah, I'm into it still. Like this was, I'll say it wasn't as good as the last one, but it was still pretty good. Um, yeah, I'm feeling probably an 8.5 for it.
Okay.
I think we're getting one more issue of it, maybe two.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, I'm loving almost all this G.I. Joe stuff, so give me give me more of this weirdo with the metal mask. I'm fine with it.
Let's see here. Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter #2 by Jay Kristoff and Terso. I like this book. Slade and is trying to convince his ex-wife in the colorful, the only color in this world in the form of this boy that they need his help. And of course, the ex-wife of, you know, Slade Wilson isn't really wanting Slade to be around. Guess he's kind of a dick. But anyway, of course, stuff happens and they end up having to need Slade's help. They run into Rose, who looks really fucking cool.
Yeah.
She's got this cool helmet on with some antlers, and she's just totally decked out in weapons. So there's a fight between Slade and her. And yeah, a little bit of spoilery stuff here, but Slade thinks he has killed Rose. So he turns his back to talk to her name's like Addie, I think, is his ex-wife. And then you see Rose just run a sword through Slade's back and then up into Addie. So she gets the old two-piece combo there. And the kid fucking freaks out and unleashes this colorful, I don't know, spell, power, something or other. Uh, and then it kind of just ends with everyone laying down in the snow. So I don't know. Like, obviously, Slade's not going to be dead, but Addie might be. So then it's going to be Slade and the kid, and that's going to be a pretty interesting dynamic, I think.
Yeah. Slade's not known to be a good dad.
Nope, he's not. And it's clear he's not in this too, because Rose is like, yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And also, uh, his two sons are canon in this, but are both dead apparently. So, and then we get a yeah, the same backup as before. It's called Heir to the Sea. It's by Tom Taylor and Riccardo Federici. So, Casey, as you know from the Warworld saga, Federici's art is off the fucking chain. Uh, but yeah, it's just this world's Martha and John saving I guess it's gonna be Aquaman. It's the heir to the sea, and
Hmm.
they find a baby like in the water, and they're like, oh my God, we gotta save him. But then uh half dead Atlantean is sitting up out of the water, and it's like the baby can breathe air and water. He he's the and then dies. And then it says to be continued. So I'm assuming that it's Aquaman, but it was still pretty cool. I really do like this book, and the art's fucking awesome. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's not my pick of the week, but it is very close.
I just thought, how funny would it be if they're like, this baby, we found it in the water, and they pull it out of the water, then like it just starts slowly like becoming like a California raisin, like it's just drying up because it's meant for the water.
Like, put it back, put it back.
Yeah. All right, so Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, issue 2. It's by Erica Schultz and Michael Dowling on the art. And you know when they have like a new character that they're trying to make like be a thing, and they're like, let's just have them, you know, look strong next to this other character. Like they do this a lot in wrestling. They do it some in comics. That's kind of like how it felt this issue is. It's like the new Punisher's here, and I don't care about him. And so maybe this issue would be better if I had read any of the new Punisher book, but I just don't care about that guy at all. And so Elektra is like fighting him and going toe to toe. And like the whole time I'm reading, I'm like, there is no reason for this to be this close of a fight. Like, no way. But yeah, so she ends up beating him, but then he kind of gets like the win over, like she beats him, but he kills the guy that she didn't want to have been killed and stuff. And so yeah, it was that whole thing, and it looks like they're gonna keep fighting each other. So I liked Elektra. I liked her Daredevil stuff, but it's still like it'd be a lot more fun if I wasn't having to also be, with this weird Punisher guy that's not the Punisher. You know what I mean? So it's probably at an 8 for me. I liked it,
It didn't
but
sound like an 8.
I mean it's like cool fights and all this extra stuff. It's just like I'm just kind of left going like I don't really care about this old Punisher, but I think Elektra's cool. And then the artist was like, they're like, I can't draw Shiseido style hair. She's got it in a bun.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
funny.
it's like, dude, fair enough, because no one else can draw Shiseido style hair.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, after listening to that, I'm not upset that I dropped it after the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's like I don't know. They do like they do it all the time in comics with a character, and it's like maybe if I was invested in them, it would be a lot cooler or it'd make more sense. But like since I'm not invested in this character at all, I'm just kind of left going like, is he really that dope though? Because I wasn't he just an ex-Shield agent?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how is he on the level of Elektra?
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
wouldn't
buying it.
know because you didn't read his comic.
That's true. I'm like, you sure about that? Hmm. All right, dude. I just got our mutuals.
Same. Wolvie, Croc, Superman.
Sure.
All right. Wolverine Revenge #1 by Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo. So I mostly liked this. There was one thing that I was like, man, well, okay, two things where I was like, man, this is dumb as hell. So the first thing is that Colossus is siding with those guys just because
Russia.
he's on the west or the east side of the world, not the west. I'm like, that's kind of a dumbass reason, really.
Hmm.
Because Cyclops. Did I say that the first time?
No, he said
Okay.
Colossus.
It's like Colossus has fought these guys before. There's no way he's going to team with them just because East versus West.
I mean, see, like that didn't bother me that much because Colossus, he's done shit like that before in the comics, where he's been like, "Mother Russia, I must." That's a terrible Russian accent, but where
Yeah.
he's like got to, side with Russia instead of his actual friends and stuff.
Well, I still think it's stupid.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
And then the more egregious one, I think, is like, okay, what's his name? Mastermind is like, okay, we're using Omega Red and finding a disease that you can't heal from so that we can put a bomb in you. But then they don't think at all that once the bomb is out of him, he
Yeah,
won't be
right.
able to regenerate. So like again, spoilers, they blow up the bomb that's in Wolverine's body and his bits are laying there. And then at the end, his bits just reform and it's a to be continued. It's like you're telling me that Deadpool, Omega Red, and Sabretooth, none of them thought, hey, this probably isn't really gonna do him in. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems stupid. Just
No,
seems
there's
stupid.
a so Hickman is like a really smart writer, but there is so much bad writing with this book. So like first off, I'll talk about fucking like how you're saying with the bombs. Like that was my first thought too. And then also, I don't care how they try to spin it. There's no way that Sabretooth is going to be sneaking up on Winter Soldier or Omega Red, old clunky Omega Red is going to be able to sneak up on Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no way that they could sneakily take them out and then have all three of those guys go at Wolverine. Like that none of that made sense. And then also the way Deadpool was written was dog shit. It's like the only time Hickman ever read Deadpool was when his first appearance happened and they were still trying to make him serious because this was not Deadpool at all.
Yeah, literally anybody could have been this role.
Yeah, they should have gone with that other Liefeld creation that he made recently that no one really read.
Major X.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's just like this is really a vehicle for Greg Capullo to draw awesome shit, and we got that.
Yeah.
But I don't think,
No qualms with the art.
yeah, I the only qualm I have with the art is like every once in a while they kind like some of these random people kind of get like Bruce Wayne face, because
Yeah.
he's drawn Bruce Wayne so much, you know?
Yep.
Like this Captain America right here is giving very much Batman.
Yeah, or even this guy getting decapitated. I mean, it's all
Yep.
the same face.
Yeah.
It's a good face,
Yeah.
but it is the same face.
Yeah. He does, and that's like the only real knock on the art, but story and like I said, story wise, pretty dumb. But I'm gonna give Hickman the benefit of the doubt that there might be more to the story than what we're seeing. Maybe this is like a fucking dream or some shit for Wolverine, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll give it benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I plan on finishing this miniseries
Yeah.
because even though I thought it was dumb as hell, it was still entertaining.
Yep.
And man, I mean, I know Casey has seen it, but I'm showing the cover if you guys haven't seen it. It's a killer fucking cover.
Hmm.
And I think Wolverine is the best written character. And I suppose that that's the important part.
Yeah. And I mean, outside of like just them being useless, Captain America and Bucky aren't poorly written. And
Yeah.
Nick Fury's good too.
Mhm.
But it's just like, man, what were they doing with some of these other it's like has he ever read a Deadpool book?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I honestly did think that too. I was like, this reads like New Mutants 98.
Yeah.
But oh well. What are you giving it?
I'm probably at like I'm hovering around 6.5 to 7.
I'm at 6.5 myself.
All right, so we'll both just say 6.5 then.
Yeah.
All right, Crocodile Black by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Solm on the art. And yeah, man, we get some neat stuff. This was kind of a forgettable book for me, but I still liked it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I do like that the dead body and this crocodile are talking to him
Hmm.
and, like warning him about the gun and stuff like that. Like, it's a fucking weird book. I don't know how it's gonna wrap up in the next issue, but I still like it. I've liked every issue. It's
Yeah.
definitely entertaining enough.
Yep. I agree. I'm like I'm here for the ride. I don't really like you. I don't know where the ride's going, but I'm here for it. It's neat. You know, he's getting into some shit that he shouldn't be, and it's biting him in the ass. Yeah, where you at with it? The book felt super short though.
Yeah, it did. Probably a 7, I think.
Okay.
Like, I can kind of see like him just getting out of the crazy shit, realizing that maybe normal life isn't so bad, and just going back to his normal life and then story over. I could
Yeah,
see that
well,
happening.
me too, and like him getting over his trauma that he had, you know,
Yeah,
that type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Or it could go the other way, and maybe he fucking dies getting caught up in this shit. Because let's be real, he probably should have by now.
yeah.
But sorry, what's your rating?
I'm probably at I'm feeling a 7 for it. I like it. It feels so short though. It kind of just it blows through and it's weird as hell, but the art's really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then the final book is Superman number 17 by Joshua Williamson and uh is it Jamal Campbell?
Jamal Campbell.
Yes,
Yep,
okay. Couldn't find it. I also want to show you. I got the Stepan Sejic variant cover with Zatanna. It's fucking awesome.
that is rad.
But yeah, I really, really like this book.
Yeah,
Um, it may not be the best book ever, but I think it was the best book that I read this week.
I'm
um,
probably in the same boat, even though like I'm just so fucking tired of absolute power. Like Lord have mercy. I was tired after the first issue.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's like I said with Green Arrow. Williamson wrote that tie-in, and it's like, man, for an event tie-in, it's good. And I feel
Yeah.
the same way about this. And Jamal Campbell is firing on all cylinders. His art is so good.
Jamal
But
Campbell's someone that I would love to meet at a con. I probably
mhm,
couldn't afford a commission,
yeah,
but I would love to have one.
I'd love to get my Superman #1 signed.
Yeah.
But I like how Williamson writes all the characters. I like, the magical bar. I love Superman calling all the magicians cowards
Right.
just because he's so fucking fed up with everything. Like, I don't, we say it all the time, man, but Williamson knows how to write Superman.
Yep.
I think Superman would act like this, when he gets mad and he starts punching the wall, and Satana's like, hey, man, chill out. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't like people seeing me like this, but darn it, I'm fed up. And it's like, dude, I get it. Punch that wall. So yeah, my only beef is like, I want to know more about some of the people in this bar. Like Jamal Campbell gave some insane character designs for people we're never gonna fucking see again.
Well, like some of them, it's kind of weird. It's like, why is Creeper there?
Yeah,
And then Kid Devil's in the background too. It's like Kid Devil wasn't a coward, Jamal Campbell. He'd be down there helping.
right. I'm blanking on her name. She's the one, if you're looking at Creeper, she's the one directly to the right of him, like walking between the bar and the tables.
Oh yeah, she looks
It's
kind of like a
like,
dark elf.
yeah, it's like Nocturna or something, right? Wasn't she part of the Suicide Squad for a little bit, the one that we were reading? I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure that's her,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
Well, because I thought I saw. Okay, so this is I thought Nocturna.
Really? That
I
one?
think, or because that's I'm gonna Google it now because I think that's her name. Because it's the girl that was like shoots shadows and shit.
Hmm. Okay. Then I don't know who this dark elf chick is, but I want to know.
Yeah. I think
But
you might be right because I'm looking at a picture of Nocturna right now, and so I was wrong. I'm trying to think of who this character is then. Because yeah, there's some Nocturna pictures.
yeah, I mean, I guess she's not exactly dark
Yeah.
elfish, but I don't know. Anyway, um, gosh, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was the chick that was hooking up with Match, but she definitely looks different. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Also, I thought that while he was kind of a boob, Kid Warlock was a fun, 2-page
Yeah.
villain. Cool design, cool name,
He's
even
a
though,
he's a he's a character that I would actually really love to see pop up in a Justice League Dark, like as on that team. He'll be like one of those little shitheads that's not that good, but is still there anyway.
yeah, for sure. And let's be real, if young Casey had seen Kid Warlock in 1998, he would have thought he was the coolest fucking character.
Yeah. Well, it also that also helped too is if you put kid in front of some in one of your names when I was a kid, I'm like, we're the same person.
I could be Kid
Yeah.
Warlock.
It's like I
As,
have the
as you
one
knock
king
everything
down.
off your
Yeah.
coffee table. But yeah, anyway.
Dad's like, why'd you do that? It's like, I didn't. Kid Warlock did.
And then he takes off his belt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just kidding. Anyway, book ends with Neron being there. I feel like Casey, you and I keep reading books that Neron is popping up in. He was in that the Shazam 4
Oh
issue that we
yeah.
read, and there was something else too that I can't place right now. But anyway, Neron wants to make a deal with Zatanna and Clark to, I don't know, get Zatanna's powers back. Here's the thing that I don't understand. Why why does Zatanna get her magic taken away?
I've not been
It's not like
reading
it's not like a
Absolute Power.
power. Yeah, but it's not like a power.
So this is how I kind of understand it. But if anyone here is like that's listening and has actually read Absolute Power, let us know the exact thing. But they have different things to take different people's, abilities or powers. So like they actually have things like magic dampening stuff. So like a lot of the magic users that didn't get away in time, they've had their magic just kind of taken, basically, depending on which one. So like that's why a lot of the magic users got away in it was Green Lantern, right? Where they had
Yeah.
the yeah. So like they were able to escape it, but there's a lot of it where it's just kind of like no, they taken just the magic in general, and it's that type of thing. But that's how I understood it. But I've not been reading it, so I'm really not the person to ask.
Yeah. Fair enough. Um, yeah, what do you rate it?
I'm probably at a 9, and it's probably my pick of the week. But this week was it like just again with our news, this week wasn't as good as other weeks.
Yep, for sure. Also a 9 for me, also my pick.
What are you excited for, though, man?
Dude, this next week is a monster of a release week. Um, gosh, I can't not say it. Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm always
Hmm.
loving that no matter what. Um, Phases of the Moon Knight #1. Pretty excited for that one. And I know you're gonna say Saga, so I'll say something else. Hmm.
Excuse
Probably Batman Dark Age. I feel like I always love that book.
me. Yeah. So I will say Doctor Strange 18. Um, then I'll go with Saga. And then I'm gonna go with a weird one and say Universal Monsters Frankenstein #1. We'll see how that goes.
See, I thought that was for sure gonna be on your pick. It's like, oh,
I
the
mean,
third one he's gonna say it's gonna be Frankenstein.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn on that because like I don't even know who's writing it. So I'm like, with the other one, it was 100% being carried by Ram V and Dan Waters. With this one, I was like, I just enjoy the old Frankenstein's monster. I'm not a big fan of, Dr. Frankenstein himself. Don't get them mixed up, or you'll have me going, well, actually, kids.
It's actually gonna be written and drawn by Michael Walsh, who you
Okay.
definitely know.
Yeah. Not personally, though.
Right.
All right. So before when on the old YouTubes, we were talking about comic book conventions and first time going to one. So then I was like, well, I don't have a Fantastic Four yet, so let's just think about 4 things you need to remember to bring at your first trip to a convention.
Um, I'm gonna go with a backpack of some sort. I think that's essential. Messenger bag, whatever you want to carry.
I'm gonna say strictly because I used to be a satchel messenger bag boy. No, backpack. 100% go with the backpack. It's better.
Yeah. Um, Not to be that guy, but a water bottle. You gotta hydrate, man.
Hmm.
A lot of standing, a lot of walking, gotta stay hydrated. Um, One thing that I like to do every convention is I have like written down either on a piece of paper or in a note on my phone which artists I want to or writers that I want to see and where they are.
That's a good idea.
The Sometimes the app just doesn't fucking work, or you have to walk around to find an Artist Alley map, and that's just a pain. So
Hmm.
it's always on the site before, and just come a little bit prepared. And then a fourth one, let's see. Hmm, I don't know. You do some of yours, and if
I
something else
I
comes to me.
I figured you were gonna say deodorant at least once.
Yeah, that is a good answer. Not
But
not all goers do.
but yeah, so you have the backpack, which I think is a big one. Um, and then like some way of like keeping your stuff secure in your backpack, like whether it be those like plastic things, because like you don't want to get your shit signed and then it bend all up or whatever, and comfy shoes. That's always
Oh yeah,
that's
great
a
one.
big thing. And then to go along with your water bottle, I'm gonna say, a little like a beef jerky or some type of easy to have snack that's like gonna give you a little bit of sustenance, but that also you can have in a warm bag at a con.
Yep. For me, it's granola bars. Always keep a
Yeah.
couple of those tucked away.
Those get melty though. That's my only problem with an old granola bar. They can get a little
Oh,
like soft and chewy, and like I'm trying to like, peel them out, and then it's like on your wedding day whenever I was like trying to give you gum, but my gum was super melty. That's how like the granola bars get sometimes.
yeah. So you always get the kind that's got like some stuff like on the bottom.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. I say some stuff that's so
Yeah.
vague.
It's like, yeah, like some stuff like granola.
Top loaders is a good one too. I don't know that anything can beat shoes. Like a backpack and shoes are like the two most
Yeah.
essential. Um, Man, I would almost say just like some cash.
Oh
Some
yeah.
places
Cash money for sure.
some places don't do cards, or they'll be more willing to deal with you if they know
Yep.
that they're not going to get a credit card processing fee.
And
So,
a hilarious thing to do is when you're trying to do like, hey, I just have $25. And then when they say, fine, I'll do it for 25, then you give them 30 and you get your change back.
oh shit. You know who that always works out for? Say
Mike.
it with me. Yep, Mike. Except he really only does have $25.
Yeah. And like the funniest thing too, he'll be like, okay, so I got these comics here, and then I saw that you have this thing back there. If I do this and this, could you give me a deal? And then they're like, this is the first day an hour in, and then like 2 minutes later, they're like, yeah, we'll do that.
Or he wants all that shit and he's like, but I only have $25. And they're like, well, it's better than nothing. Fork it over.
They're like, I'm room 402.
Oh
Like, where'd
shit.
Mike go? And then like Mike comes back, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. But look at my stuff.
Oh my gosh. All right, man. What do you want to tell the people before we sign off?
Tell us what you think people should bring to a con, and tell us about a time like a bad con experience. That'll be fun. Tell us a bad con
Ooh,
experience.
yeah.
It'll be a
Yeah,
good
we
time.
like those. All right, guys. We'd love to stay in chat, but we gotta break into Mum Ra's lair and steal his remote control. So we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye. I was gonna do a Thundercats bye, but I'm like, I don't have that in me.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, And if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.